know in this community that right now the A channel has been scheduled for closure, and as a member of Parliament for this area, I can tell you since this has been announced, I can't go anywhere in this community, whether it be at social functions, whether it be official functions as a member of Parliament, grocery shopping, out there with my kids as a parent, without people talking about this is a bad decision, how it's going to hurt this community, and how upset people are. And I think we need to go back to the beginning in terms of the media to remind the broadcasters that are using the public airwaves of the wealth that has been created out of this in the past. And I want to use a quote from Fred Silverman. He's the former president and chief executive of NBC, who as a programmer was behind the hit shows The Waltons and All in the Family. And then what he talked about in terms of public broadcasting and what it gave them, he said, quote, it was a license to steal. And that was because of the enormous wealth that's been created by this broadcasting over the years. And right now we know that CTV has announced that it's going to close the A channel, but I want to remind that Bell Global Media has made a profit, the parent company, and what we're calling on today is for the CRTC to step in, and as well too for the public to start voicing to the CRTC and also to CTV their displeasure about this. On February 25th, with that announcement that took place, we have to remember and remind the public that the broadcasting elements are done through your actual investments in the broadcasting system. This was paid for by you as a taxpayer over the years to provide this type of programming out there. And over the last number of years, they have moved, CTV has, to actually purchase more American programming and away from community programming such as the A channel and its news, and that's very harmful. In fact, it was just last year, CTV spent $780 million on American programming of big budget stuff, which is really basically a lot of it's the fast food of television, versus that of the A channel news, where we all know in this community it's provided local programming. And it's also, I think, been very helpful for other types of media in this community as well, too. We've been the beneficiaries of this area of good media that's helped make sure that our communities are strong and the words of the people reach the actual audience in the community that we deserve here. So we want to make sure that people understand that it was their public information, it was their public dollars. Second of all, there's a kind of a subterfuge to this as well, too, is that CTV has made their third application to actually have carriage fees to increase that about $100 per subscriber of cable per year to actually pad their pockets right now. But this is very important, is that they have not guaranteed they would keep local programming available and still in the mix, and that's unacceptable. When we go back to the origins of the Chum purchase, of CTV Chum purchase, you have to keep in mind that they got the radio stations and as well the TV stations. Rogers and other competitors out there did want to actually bid on this, but were not allowed to by the CRTC. But now, right now, what's happening is that CTV is closing right now 3 stations in total. They've threatened another 6, and they've said that more are to come. And that's not acceptable. That's when we have the media concentration like that. There was supposed to be the intent to keep local programming active, especially on a border where A channel here has a high rating standard and as well can reach 5 million subscribers. And one has to ask the question is, why won't CTV at least put this station up for sale? Brandon, Manitoba is closing. They've given a sale date for that. Here, I think that quite frankly is that with their cutbacks on their advertising staff from 4 to 2 persons, and the fact that you have a 5 million person market, they want to block somebody from coming in here to make a profit to turn this around. And that's important to note. So in conclusion, I do want to say that there is going to be more work in Ottawa done on this. I've actually just contacted Charlie Angus over the last weekend to talk about him. He's our critic, and we are calling for the CRTC to step in and have hearings as well, to have a review before anything else is done and before anything is granted. There needs to be an overall strategy. CTV should be told, go back to the drawing board and to come back with something that's acceptable. When you look at the fact of the matter is that local programming and content is critical. Even over in the United States, some of the major networks are moving in that direction because the old model simply doesn't work, and they're looking at capacity. And at the same time over here, on the doorstep to America, we're looking at closing that down. So I have some information that we'll be releasing on my website, also on my Facebook site, to contact the CRTC and also to Bell and CTV as well, to tell them that you don't find this acceptable and that we want to have things reversed. And later this week, myself and Charlie Angus will be working on this in Ottawa for a larger national strategy because we're part of a bigger story here. Thank you very much, and I'll accept any questions.